Hello everyone, this is T-Junkie, and I thought I'd do something a little different. Currently we're in Unity, and I decided, I've seen a few tutorials, but mainly they're all JavaScript. And I thought I'd do a C# tutorial on how to make a main menu. This will go from a simple main menu to begin with, so just new game, level select, options, and quit. Then what we're going to do is we're going to add a load game in there. And the new game, you'll also go to create a character, so you'll be learning saving and loading, along with also the options screen will have an audio slider, and it'll also have graphics options, and you'll have a field of view slider, and also on top of that you will also have the Unity built-in I think it's six menu options, so you could choose the graphics quality. And we'll also create a basic scene so you can see the graphics quality in real time. And when we've created the options, we'll also do an apply button, which is going to save those to a save file as well. So let's jump right in. First of all, what you need to do is you need to click start, new project, and call this whatever you want. I'm just going to call it main menu tutorial. Now it's great. I mean, I recommend putting a character controller in. Skyboxes, and that's all I'm going to add. You can easily add more in later, but for now, all we're going to need is skyboxes and character controller. And just click create. This might take a little while, depending on how many options you selected. Cup of tea. Right, now, as soon as that's done, you will have all this. Just your standard assets folder in your project. Character controller and skyboxes. Your layout might look different to mine, just look for the project tab. And I have character controller and skyboxes. These will come in handy when I just want to create a basic level to just new game it. You're going to want to create some other files now. For now, I'm just going to create a folder, scripts, create another folder, GUI skins, create another folder, textures, and we need another one, create another one, folder scenes. We can always add some more. Now, in your GUI skins, just hover create, or just right click at create and click GUI skin. I'm just going to call my game skin with no spaces. And that's going to be there for future reference if we need it, but for now we'll just leave it how it is. And then what we're going to do is click on the scripts folder once, right click it, and create a new C# script. I'm just going to call this main menu script, and hit enter. Now as soon as you've created that, just click and drag it onto your main camera in your hierarchy view. So now when I click on the main camera, underneath all the inspector, you'll see main menu script right there. Now once that's done, open it up. You can either double click it or click on it and hit enter. As default it loads with mono development, but I've currently got it in Visual Studio 2013 Ultimate. It doesn't really matter, it all calls from the same libraries. Well, it would be mono development if it loaded through Visual Studio, Visual Studio. But I guess this is fine right now. Unless mono develop. Yeah, getting a bit tongue tied. Bit early in the morning. Mono develop doesn't have a conniption fit. what's this error? Error creating, yeah. But if you do want to open this up in a different program, yeah. Is there both settings? No, it's in preferences, edit preferences, external tools, and then up top here you select which one you want. There's manual development, then there's Visual Studio. Sometimes I have problems, and although it says it's open in Visual Studio, it'll open in model development. You get little problems like that. Other times I just close down model development and it loads at Visual Studio just like this. Right, I like my formatting, so I'm just going to format it. Now, straight away what you want to do is underneath start and update, create a new function, void OnGUI. See, this is done differently. What you do is you do void, and OnGUI is a capital O, lowercase n, capital GUI. I've seen quite a few tutorials, and a lot of people have complaints that those don't work. That's why it's meant to be laid out like that. Now, what I'm going to do is, after that, I'm going to also create another function. I'm just going to call it void main menu. Can't call it main menu. First menu. Now I've done that, what I can do is just copy that name, function name, put it in there, just add that. That way when the OnGUI function is called, first menu is called, so all the OnGUI functions inside first menu get called also. If you don't add first menu to this, all the OnGUI functions that you call here in your first menu function will not render because they need to go through the OnGUI function. And now we've got that, let's create a few variables. So I want this as a private bool, and my privates I usually put an underscore in front of them, but I'm going to call it is first menu equals true. That's going to be true to begin with, because that's the first menu that the player sees straight away off the bat. Private bool underscore is level select menu equals false. Private bool underscore is options menu equals false. And I think that's all we need for now, at least. Now on the first menu we're going to need a few buttons. For now what we're going to do is we're going to set up the basics for a load button along with a new game, level select, options and quit. So what we're going to do is we're going to put if underscore is first menu, and inside this if function now we want to do all the first menu buttons. That way only these buttons render if the first menu is true. Now what we want to do is do an if. So what we're going to do is if GUI.button, another open brackets, new rect, another open brackets again, and I want it about 10 from the left. Screen dot height divided by 2 minus, let's say 100, and I want my buttons to be 150 wide by 25 tall. Now that's done. You want to put a comma after the brackets and then put some speech marks, and inside that I'm just going to put new game. Now with that done, if we were to save it now and then go back into Unity, and then click play. You see a new game right there. It does nothing. I can click on it, but it does absolutely nothing. Now you might be thinking, if you've not done any of this GUI scripting before, why have I done a screen height divided by 2 minus 100 right there, when I could just easily say I want it 200 from the top? Well, it's rather simple. This is an absolute right there. I mean, this position would absolutely be the screen height divided by 2, no matter what resolution you're on, then it'll minus 100 pixels from there. So now if I click play, and then up here from free aspect, if I go 5.4, you notice how it's staying in the same position. 4.3, 3.2, 16.10, 16.9. It stays in the same position. It's just everything around it changes. And when we get into boxes and windows, we're going to be doing that a lot more. And you'll notice that all the menus and the boxes will scale according to the resolution they're on, and all the buttons will jump down the page also. So I want to go back to turn it back to free aspect. Now inside the new game we don't really need anything in there, but what you can do on the other hand is copy this, and let's put one for the load game, one for the level select, one for the options, and one for the quit. You just rename them. So I'm going to load game, level select, options, and the last one is quit game. Now with that done, open a repository. Yeah, hide that. Did not realise. Anyway, now that that's done, let's do the easiest one first. And what we want to do is, now since all these will be rendered exactly in the same place because they've all got the same values, what we want to do is we want to adjust the screen height variable. And we know it's 25 wide, so I want a 10 pixel gap. So what I want to do is I want to minus that by 65. So we're going to take 35 off, or rather add 35 to it, and that should give us the value we want. So now we're going to here, this one will be 30, this one will be plus on the other hand, this will be plus 5, and this will be 40, but it's plus. And yeah, and if I do make errors, I will keep them in, because everyone has errors, and everyone has different experiences. So if I keep my errors in, if you have the same errors, you can see how I fixed them. But no, as you can see, you've got all the different buttons now on the left hand side, and they will all stay in the same position no matter what resolution you put it on. Okay, yeah, if there's 800 by 600, you've got to be space wary, but average screens nowadays the resolution tends to be way higher than 800 by 600. But now you've got the new game, load game, level select, options, and quit. Now we've got all those, let's add some functionality to some of the buttons. Right, straight away, the easiest way to do this, the easiest button to do, sorry, is the quit game. And that's simple, just do application dot quit and open and close rounded brackets and with a semicolon to finish. And that's what you need to do for that. You will, however, if you want to test this out, click quit game, it will not do anything in the editor. For this to work, you need to build your project, which I'll cover later, and then that button will work inside there. It'll actually close down your project then, the actual game you've got launched. Now, after this first menu, let's create some others. Void load game menu. Under this one, void level select menu, and last but not least, void options menu. There we go. And the reason why I am actually doing all these functions outside of the OnGUI, but I'm going to be calling them inside the OnGUI, is this way I find it's a lot neater. And you can, and if everything gets all cluttered up, you can easily go and minimize the function. And it won't be, and you can easily look through your code. I just find it's neater this way. So load game menu. I'm just going to add these to the OnGUI now. Load game, level select, and options. There we go. Let me save that off. Now, new game. Now, what we're going to think about here is the new game. What do we want that to do? Well, for now, we just want it to load a level. However, the level, we have not created another level yet. So what I want to do is, let's prepare it. So, application.load level, open and close rounded brackets with semicolon, and you can do them by numbers, but I prefer to call them by the name. That way, no matter what order your level's in, it will still find the level. Now, I'll show you what I mean in a minute. I'm going to call this level 01. Right, this has to be the same name as the scene you're trying to load. Now, if I save this off and I go and I want to save the scene at the moment, so I go File, Save Scene As, find the Scenes folder, and then just call this Main Menu. And save this off. And your scenes, you'll have another one. So let's go File, New Scene now. And we're creating a new scene. I'm just going to call File, Save Scene As, level 01, but I'm going to save in the Scenes folder. You notice how the name of the scene is exactly the same as in my code right here. Capital L and everything. And there's something you need to remember there. Now, to get these to actually work, if you want to build it, all you do is you go File, Build Settings, and in Build Settings you'll have Scenes in Build. Can't really have nothing. So what you want to do is you want to click and drag the main menu, drop it in. Or alternatively, if you've got a scene loaded up that you actually want to add to the scene view, just click Add Current, and it adds it as well. If you don't want it to build the scene while you're when you click Build, just untick this, or just untick them. But that's currently how we want it. We want it like that. And it's best to do this now, because the buttons will not work if you do not have these in your, if you do not have the levels you want to call inside your build settings, in your build, yeah. Right, so I click application level 1, I save this off, and I go and I save this scene I've got, then I want to open up main menu again. Just by double clicking on it. If I click play, and I click new game, there you go, main menu's completely disappeared. This is level 1 right now. It doesn't look any different, but you can customize that yourself. We will be adding more functionality to this, like creating a user input. So what we're going to be doing is setting this to, instead of calling the level it's going to load, we want it to open up a new page, kind of, well, a new page. It's going to hide all the menus and just bring up the new game menu, and you're going to be able to name your character and create your character, and it's going to save the name that you type in. And we're going to do a check to call for that as well later on, and it's going to find if you actually have a player, and if you do, it's going to give you a warning if you try to create another game, create a whole new game. But if it's already got a player, if you go to the load game menu, you're going to see, you can actually see it. Now, for load game, we want to have a, because load game is on the first menu. What we need to do straight away is go is first menu equals false. That's going to hide the first menu. Now we're going to put underscore is I think we missed our... Yeah, we did. If I go private... Private... There we go. Ball underscore is load game menu equals false to begin with. Yeah, sorry about that. And under here we're going to put underscore is load game menu, there we go, equals true. So it hides the first menu and shows the second menu. And it's similar for level select as well. So we're going to go underscore is first menu. I just realised I called that fist. There we go. Equals false. Underscore is level select menu equals true. And then for the options, underscore is first menu equals false. Underscore is options menu equals true. Now that's your button set up. And just to run through what I'm doing, the first button, the new game button, will for now will only load up the next scene we have in the speech marks. So I call my level 1. You can call yours whatever you want, but it will load that level as soon as you click it. Now, load game, what load game does is hides the first menu, so the new game, load game buttons, and will bring up the load game, which we have nothing in at the moment. And the level select does exactly the same, hides the first menu, brings up the level select menu, and then the options does the same again. It hides the first menu, brings up the second menu. Now what we want to do is on the OnGUI, we're going to put if underscore is first level select menu equals true, or yeah, on an American keyboard it's above the enter key. It's the 2 lines. On a British keyboard it's past the Z key. But double lines mean or, logical or. So it's this or this or this. So underscore is load game menu equals true, or underscore is options menu equals true. Don't want particle. Don't know what's going on there. So what this is if it's the level select menu, or if it's the load game menu, or if it's the options menu, it's going to call what's in here. Now what in here we're going to do, we're going to just do a simple back button. So we want to do if GUI.button is a new rect, and I didn't put a capital B on the button. And I'm going to do that 10 screen dot height minus 35 150 25. And I'm just going to call this the back button. And what this is doing, this is completely different from this one, well it's not completely different, but this says screen height. It divides the screen height into two sections, and then minuses 100 from the middle point. So divided by 2 is centered, so it's centered the height here on your screen. What this one does is it calculates the screen height and then just takes 35 from the bottom. So it starts from the bottom and it works its way up. And I took that 35, so this is going to be right at the bottom, 10 pixels from the bottom, 10 pixels from the left. Because it goes width, height, width, height. And that's the width of the button, that's the height of the button, and that's position, and that's position. And I'm just going to say underscore is level select menu equals false. Underscore is load game menu equals false. Underscore is options menu equals false. And that way it no matter what page we're on, it calls it, and it calls it false. If it's already false, it won't do anything. Underscore is first menu, on the other hand, we want that to set to true. If I save that off, and then I'm going to go load game menu, scroll down to the bottom where I find load game menu, if underscore is load game menu, and we're going to do nothing for now on that. And then we just want to go in the level select, if underscore is level select, and on options, if underscore is options menu. There we go. So now, if we save all that off, and then go to Unity again, and then we click play, we'll go load game, and the back button turns up. Click back, and go level select, back, options, back. So the back button only show up once we click on one of these, which is very, very handy. Now, let's go a little bit more in depth. I mean, it's preferable to do this all in code, because if we change any values, this will go completely wrong. But I'll show you both ways. So what we're going to do is we're just going to create a public string, and I'm just going to call this game title, and I'm just going to uncapitalize the G, equals, and for now I'm going to leave it as name this game. Now in the OnGUI, this is one way you could do this. You could do GUI.label. It's a new rect. I'm going to do this 30 from the left, 75 from the top. Do this that is 300 wide. And then I will also do this 25 high. It's only for testing purposes at the moment, but this is what we're going to do. And I'm just going to put game name here. Right, if I click save on the other hand, and then I click play, you see here it just comes up game name here. However, if we were to say take this out here and put game title in there, the name of the variable we've made up here, and then click save and then click play again, it says name this game. And the reason why I've done it this way here is this can be changed, and I'll show you what I mean. If I was to click on the main camera here in the scene we've got, under here in the main menu script, you can see, because I've called it a public variable, you'll see game title, and it's called name this game. Let's just call this game Puzzle Wizard. Puzzle Wizard. And then I just click play. The game's now called Puzzle Wizard. So without having to go into any code, you can change these variables. You could do the same for buttons as well. So if you want to name your buttons, see I've got a new game here, you can easily create a number of these strings here, give it a default value. You can leave them blank if you want, you can leave it like this if you want, it doesn't really matter, but it's nice to put something in there, that way there's a visual representation when you add it to the screen without having to go into the hierarchy. And you can do it for these buttons as well. However, you notice I've called the game Puzzle Wizard. Now if I go into here and I call this Whoop Whoop as an example, and I go into Unity again, and I click play. Oh, I didn't mess up that time. Let's see if I can get it. Let's see if I can trick it. public string button names equals, just do a nice standard string blog. It doesn't have to be anything. I still kept Puzzle Wizard, but no, what can happen, because this is all renamed in the hierarchy, if you were to do a number of combination of things, there's quite a few that come to mind, but as we're coding this, you might get errors if you do it this way. Although it may be easy to just change it on the fly without having to open up code. At the end of the day, having this here in the hierarchy, if something goes wrong in this hierarchy, it'll wipe this completely off, and this name here back to its defaults, what you had up here. Which is why I name my buttons inside code like this, because this will never change unless I want to change it myself. So I'm just going to delete this, and I'm just going to call this name me. Don't rightly know what name I want to have it yet, but it's going to have a name by the end of this. I'll have to delete those functions. There you go, it just says name me. Now, this seems to have been going on for quite a while now. This is the first look at some of the code. And in the next part, what we are going to do is we're going to finish off the level select menu, and we're going to put in place the options menu and the load game menu, the basics for those. So just style it up a bit, that way we're ready for actually adding some functionality there. Well, this has been T-Junkie, and thank you for watching, and let me know in the comments below if you have any issues, and I will try to help you out as possible as I can. I will also do a link to the code download, so you can download it straight from the website. So if you have an errors, you can just download my code and you can see exactly how I've done it. Well, I've been T-Junkie, thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next tutorial. Goodbye.